I was really sad about a year ago when I realized that I must have mistakenly donated my copy of Quacks of Quedlinburg when I donated most of my game collection. Maybe you saw the video about that. Because I like the game, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked everywhere, I couldn't find it, so I thought I must have gotten boxed with those other games. Which means I was very happy when I saw at Gen Con 2025 that they were releasing a new version of the game, which is exactly the same game in terms of gameplay, just with different graphics. So I bought the game, I bought the copy, and as soon as I came home, I found Quacks of Quedlinburg. It was sitting there the whole time. I couldn't find it. As chance would have it, the following day, the publisher was kind enough to send me the deluxe version of Quacks of Quedlinburg, and that's how I ended up owning 3 copies and 3 different versions of the game. But hey, lucky you, because this way I can compare. So these 2 editions, the new edition and the deluxe edition, again, exactly the same gameplay as before, but with different components. So now I'll be able to compare them, and that's what I'm going to do in this video. In the next segment, I'm going to show you components of the original game next to the standard new edition, and then we're going to take a look at the deluxe new edition. After that, I'll tell you about gameplay in case you're not familiar with the game. I'll cover gameplay very quickly, and at the end, I'll share some conclusions and ideas with you. So this is the box of the original edition of Quacks of Quedlinburg, and this is the box of the standard new edition of Quacks. As you can see, it is smaller, so more portable, I guess, and also the graphics are a lot more essential, cartoonish, less busy, and that's gonna be a trend in this new edition. Pretty much, I think, the biggest stylistic adjustment here. Let's take a look at all that you find in the box of the new standard edition of Quacks. You're gonna find cauldrons, of course, and the biggest difference is now the cauldron are color-coded in the soup, in the part where you throw your ingredients and hope not to explode, which is different from what you had in the original edition, where the edge of the cauldron was color-coded, but the rest was exactly the same for each cauldron. Then we have the board, the main board that we use to keep track of turns and score. Smaller again, and again more cartoonish, which I'm not saying is a negative necessarily. More cartoonish, but also less busy, with more visual contrast, I believe. And you just tell a little bit more where everything is a little more clearly. I think it's just a little more legible. We have the event cards. Oh, where are the event cards of the original game? I think I left it in the box. I'm still gonna give you a sense of the graphic, these cute cats, or this cute cat in the back, and the events in the front. Then we have the tiles that will tell us what the tokens that we draw do. And again, you see the general idea. These are the original ones, and these are the new ones. Just cleaner in the graphic, and a little more cartoonish, a little more family-friendly. By saying so, I don't mean that the original ones is not family-friendly. There's nothing, I believe, wrong for a family with this. But it's just more appealing. These monsters look a little more like Pokemon to me, and maybe that's part of the appeal. The pumpkins, less realistic, but again, just more colorful, brighter. Where are the mandrakes? That's a big difference also, I think, in the graphic. I'm talking about things that look like Pokemon now. Definitely, the old one did not look like a Pokemon, but the new one kind of does. Oh, the mandrake, looks so cute and fun. In the new edition, a little mean in the old one. So just a different really in style, because as I said, gameplay is exactly the same. And the same illustrations that you find here, you find in the tokens as well, the ones that you place in the bag, in your personal bag. In the standard edition, all bags are the same, all bags are black. And you see the tokens here. Simply put, the illustrations are larger. They're not just well, the new ones, so they're brighter, more colorful, and more kind of cartoonish, cleaner. They're also larger, simply larger illustration. If you look at the old tokens, simply the illustration sometimes blends quite a bit in the background, and it's small compared to the surface of the token. Here you have a mushroom token, the mushroom is bigger. It's just, that's the thing. Here we're looking at this guy here, same thing. So the illustration on the tokens is easier to read and just nicer with a better, I believe, contrast between the background and the illustration itself. And this is the new standard edition, pretty much. Oh, one thing I want to mention about the rulebook. This is a new rulebook. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And there is a misprint, which is quite unusual. Here in the shopping phase, where first it tells you how you spend your money, and then in the section spending rubies, it mistakenly reprints the same text that is there. See, it says, beginning with the start player and going clockwise, everyone takes a turn shopping for new ingredient tokens and add it to their bag. That's what you do during that phase, and here's simply the same text. So it doesn't explain in this rule book how you spend rubies. Luckily enough, the icon is pretty clear. If you're struggling, in this phase you can spend 2 rubies to advance your droplet on the board or to replenish your potion. That's it. Now we move to the Deluxe edition. In the Deluxe edition, looking at the box is the same size as the original one, as you can see. But it has the same idea of a graph, which is cleaner, more cartoonish, a single character, looking goofy and funny, as opposed to the chaos of the original one. The cauldrons are the same, again, coded by color. The board is the same. The tiles explaining what the tokens do, those are the same as well. There we go. Pretty much the only difference and again, everybody kind of looks a bit like a Pokemon. The biggest difference the 2 differences in terms of components are the bags. Now you got 4 bags of 4 different colors. But the biggest of them all is, of course, the tokens. Now the tokens you place in the bag, and you draw from the and you draw from the bag are acrylic. And they look cool. And they look nice. And they are fun just to mess with like that. Colorful, bright, they definitely help making the experience just look a little neater. Hey, when I'm drawing acrylic, maybe I won't even be that upset when I draw a boomberry if it's an acrylic one. As you can see, I decided to follow the advice on the rule book to embrace the madness, embrace the chaos, and divide the tokens by number. A pile for number 1, a pile for number 2, and a pile for 3 or more. They're nice, they're fun. That is a nice upgrade. Now, you know something interesting about it? I checked the rule book because I wanted to see the section about spending rubies. In the Deluxe edition, you also get Deluxe proofreading because the Deluxe edition does have that section. The spending rubies actually explain how to replenish how to use the rubies. And that's a bit peculiar, but that happened. I noticed that. If there are other differences between the rule books other than saying Deluxe here, I haven't noticed. Everything else, the cards, and so on and so forth, is the same thing. So again, really the upgrades are only concerned the bags and the tokens, but the tokens, they're important. As for gameplay, everybody will have their cauldron. At the beginning of the game, we need to choose a set of ingredients. Each ingredient has 4 possible variants, as indicated here by these tiles, and so you need to choose which set you're going to play so that the very same tokens will trigger different effects from game to game, increasing the replay value by quite a bit, and that's awesome. Once you do that, everybody will get a bag, and in that bag you'll place your starting selection of tokens, which is not going to be very good at the beginning. We start a turn by drawing an event card that will affect everybody. For example, if we draw this one, we move our droplet marker a space forward. That is very neat. The droplet starts in the space 0 of our cauldron, and now we move it up by 1. Other game effects will move it, and that's always good because you're trying to go as far as possible on this track, and so that means that you're starting from not 0, starting from increasingly better positions every time. So then we look at our bag, and we look at the outside of the bag. Don't look inside, that's never allowed. And we start drawing tokens. You see the tokens will have a symbol telling us what it does and a number indicating how many steps ahead of the droplet or the previous token you have to place them. So we're just creating a spiraling movement that goes outward. That says 1, so I place it there. I draw this one, that's a 1 as well, I place it there. Ooh, look at me, I drew a 2, so I place it 1, 2. A 6, no less. That was lucky draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Uh-oh, but I drew a bloomberry. At least it's a 2. And I continue like this. A 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I continue like this until either I choose to stop or I explode. I explode if on the board I have a value of more than 6 on my bloomberries. Boomberries. Right now I have 6 boomberries, so my chances of going bust or not 0. If I draw a 2, I'll go boom. I feel brave. I'm gonna draw another one. Okay, I drew this one. I place it there. I'm gonna draw another one. Oh, I was lucky. I drew that one. You know what? I feel lucky. I'm gonna keep drawing. Oh, I drew this one. Let me use a game effect. I'll have a potion, and I can glug, 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 drink it to throw back a token that I just drew into the bag. I drew it again. That happens to me all the time. So now I got some choices to make there because I do have a value of 7. And if I keep drawing, I may go bust. You know what? I'll go one more time. You know what? I'll stop actually. Stop right there. So you'll stop either because you want to or because you explode. Then, when everybody's done placing tokens on the cauldron, we go over a bit of a procedure, but it's not too bad. But first I wanted to point this out. The space facing the last token on your track will indicate an amount of money, 17 money to spend buying new ingredients, and the cost is indicated here on the tiles that we have selected at the beginning. I can buy 1 or 2 tokens, but they need to be of different colors if I buy 2. So that money spent to buy ingredients. I may get a ruby if there is a ruby in the space where I stopped, and there's a tiny number there that would be a 4 right now, and that's the amount of victory points they score, because ultimately I need victory points to win the game. So once everybody's done drawing, we look at this board in the center of the play area, and we go through this sequence here. First, the player who went the furthest on their cauldron gets to roll a die that will generate advantages, so there is an incentive for people to push their luck and go as far as possible. Then we look at tokens whose effect triggers at the end of the round. Some of the tokens trigger the effect during the round, for example, the ones that make me explode. Then we collect rubies, if appropriate. That's when we get to spend our money, when we get to collect victory points and spend our money, collect victory points and spend our money. Again, if it didn't explode, I get both. If it did explode, I only get 1. Then we get to spend 2 rubies for an advancement on the droplet on the track, or replenishing the potion. And then red tails. Ooh, no, that's a different cartoon. Red tails. So that's pretty much a catch-up mechanism. In the rat tail phase, we see who the leader is. For example, suppose that is the leader. And we check how many rat tails are in between that token and our token. So right now I am 2 rat tails behind. That means that as I set up my cauldron for the next round, I'll place the rat tokens 2 spaces ahead. So I get that idea. I get the consolation prize with the rat tail, so I don't fall behind permanently. I get a little bit of a boost every round, and that's what the rat tails do. In different turns of the game, different things will happen. Some ingredients are not available at the beginning, but they will become available. Here everybody gets a new boom bear in their bag, and at the end we score points. We should have collected points during the game, hopefully. We also get some extra points at the end, and the player with the highest score wins the game. Alright, so now I own 3 copies of the game, and they are different from one another. Guess what? The Deluxe probably is the one that will get played the most. Hey, but you know what? With some of these large game nights where I often have 2 games going on at the same time, I may just pull out both of them, so I teach the whole bunch of the game once, and you know, a larger number of people can play. So that's it. So that's what I'm thinking as the silver line here. I like the game. I really liked it. I can't believe that all the times that I thought, man, I wish I could play it, but just don't have it anymore. It was right there. Oh, so bad. I need to catch up. I was happy at Gen Con because I was there with my kids, and so I got them to try it. And guess what? First, they destroyed me. I don't think I ever won. I like this game. I don't think I ever won a single game of it. And I still like it. I'm still drawn to it. So my kids destroyed me, and they were very happy, and I think that past that they just like the game in general. So between them, between new friends that will join game night, between some of the old veterans, I'm just happy to be able to put Quacks or Quedlinburg, or I should say now just Quacks back on the regular rotation, because the game is great. It's so simple, and yet it has so much variety. The push of luck may turn somebody off, but I think that you can make decisions about the combinations that you create, how you spend your money, that will definitely reduce the randomness. At least I know if the game was entirely random, I should have won more just statistically. So it can't be that I lose every time. It means that other people are able to see something that is quite escaping me still. So the gameplay is simple and yet satisfying to me, and now especially with these components. Hey, but I was perfectly happy to drive home with this one. I had no idea that I was going to receive the other one, and they already look nice. I have to say the new, more cartoonish, cleaner, colorful version is already nice enough. And the one with the acrylic, I mean, the colored bags are nice, but the acrylic tokens, oh, those just look really, really nice. And I think they will give me even more of an incentive, to put the new Quacks Deluxe Edition on the table. And so now you know what they look like, how they play, and I hope that I was able to help you decide if either of these versions is right for you.